Hello, hello. Tonight's story is, I forgot the name of it, but it's something to do with kindness and a little girl named Esperanza, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about kindness. Let's see, because I cannot remember the name of the story. Just that fast. It's like, good job. Listening with My Heart, a story of kindness and self-compassion. That's more like it. Esperanza's tummy fluttered as she practiced her lines on the porch. Today was the class play. Waiting for Mama to walk with her to school, she paced back and forth when she spotted a heart-shaped rock. Esperanza picked it up and showed it to Mama as soon as she walked out. "I see you found a little treasure," said Mama. She rubbed its rough surface and felt a twinkle of joy. "Maybe it's a sign." "For what?" asked Mama. Esperanza thought about the class play later that afternoon and wondered what it would be like in the spotlight. "To put my heart into everything I do," she answered. At that moment, they heard scratching and a soft cry. Esperanza peeked under the stairs and spotted a kitty shaking and shivering. No Mama in sight, she scooped the kitten up into her lap and cuddled her. "She's all alone. I think she's hungry." Esperanza reached for her lunch bag, pinched off a piece of chicken, and offered it to the kitty, who gobbled it up. "Mama, I think the rock is a reminder to spread kindness and love. That's what we do when we listen with our hearts." "I think you're onto something," said Mama. "Can we keep Cleopatra, please?" asked Esperanza, who'd already named the kitty. "Queens are always welcomed at our house," said Mama. "If she's still here after school, we'll take her in." At school, Esperanza was more focused on the play than on math or reading. Clutching her script during recess, she noticed Bao sitting alone on a bench. He was new in school this week and didn't speak English. She wondered if he felt lonely or scared. Esperanza found a soccer ball and kicked it over to him. A smile spread across Bao's face. He stood, popped the ball in the air, then bounced it between his knee and his head a few times. "Dude's got moves," thought Esperanza. They spent the rest of recess giggling and making up hand signals. Afterwards, Esperanza borrowed Mrs. Owen's English-Vietnamese dictionary. She wrote "friend" in Vietnamese, drew a picture of Bao and her, then placed it on his desk. Esperanza rubbed the rock in her pocket. Listening with her heart made her feel peaceful inside. Finally, it was time for the performance. It was too late for Bao to be in the play, but he stood at Mrs. Owens's side as a stagehand. Excitement bubbled as Esperanza awaited her cue. Esperanza walked on stage, tripped as she was about to say her first line, and splattered across the stage. When she got up, Esperanza forgot her lines, so Mrs. Owens whispered them to her from backstage. Heat rushed through her body as all eyes were glued to her. She wished she could disappear. "I ruined the play," Esperanza thought, rushing off the stage as soon as she'd finished her part. "I messed up in front of everyone." She tucked herself in behind some props so no one would see her. Esperanza noticed her body shaking and her face still burning. She took a deep breath and tears streamed down her face. Esperanza dug out the rock in her pocket. It was cracked and lopsided, just how she felt. Esperanza touched her hand to her heart and felt the disappointment. A few minutes later, Bao walked over and handed Esperanza a drawing of her with the word "friend" written above it. Esperanza nodded. She realized she hadn't been treating herself like a friend. Esperanza realized this wasn't the first time she'd been unkind to herself. At the soccer game last weekend, she'd missed the ball that swooshed by her head, and they lost the game. "Nice work," a player from that team yelled as the others laughed. Esperanza thought she had let her team down and was the worst soccer player in the world. Thinking those thoughts had made her feel worse. At the curtain call, Esperanza reminded herself she hadn't ruined the play. She'd had an accident, and accidents happen to everyone. Listening with her heart wasn't just about spreading kindness and love to others. It was also about giving it to herself, too. "I can be a friend to myself," thought Esperanza. When Esperanza got home, she decided to do some of her favorite things. She zipped down the hill on her bike, then spent the afternoon painting at the kitchen table. She also got a hug she needed from Mama and some cuddles from Cleopatra. Listening with your heart. Some days stink. Not everything will go the way you want. You'll get upset. When this happens, you can pause, take a few deep breaths, and practice listening with your heart. You can name what you're feeling. Whatever you feel is okay. Listen to your body. Notice the sensations you're having. Do you feel hot? Does your face feel hot? Are you shaking? Are you shivering? Is your heart beating really fast? Pay attention to your self-talk. Are the words supportive and understanding or mean and rude? Are you being a friend to yourself? When we treat ourselves with the same kindness and understanding we'd give to someone we care for, we are practicing self-compassion. Can you say that with me? Self-compassion. It means to have compassion and love for yourself. Being the friend I need. Wrap your arms around yourself and give yourself a gentle hug. Take a few deep breaths. When I feel sadness, may I treat myself like the friend I need. May I show love and kindness to myself. When I feel anger, may I treat myself like the friend I need. May I show love and kindness to myself. Think of the feelings you experience that are difficult for you and fill in the blank. When I feel, may I treat myself like the friend I need. May I show love and kindness to myself. Kind words for myself. Place both hands over your heart. Notice your hands touching each other and touching your heart. Take a few deep breaths and close your eyes if you'd like. What loving and understanding words and phrases would you like to hear when you're having a tough time or feeling upset? What would feel good or comforting to hear? You are kind. You are loving. You are smart. You are funny. You are beautiful. Take some time and see what words or phrases come up for you. Write them in a notebook or read them to yourself whenever you need to hear them. Or you can just ask your mama. We are all connected. Everyone messes up. Everyone makes mistakes and feels strong emotions. It's normal. Everyone also wants to feel kindness and love. This is what connects us to each other. Place your hands gently on your lap. Take a few deep breaths and close your eyes if you'd like. Say these words to yourself. I connect to myself through love and kindness. I connect to others through love and kindness. I connect to the world through love and kindness. Notice how you feel after doing these activities. You can do them whenever you want. Listening with your heart feels good. It connects you to others and reminds you to be a friend to yourself. It helps grow a more peaceful world. Alrighty, that one was called Listening to Your Heart. I don't need to do the lessons afterwards, but because I think Ms. Gabby Garcia, who's the author of that book, that means she's the one that wrote the book, did a good job of summing it up and actually giving us some little activities to help us listen with our heart, not only to those around us, but to ourselves as well. We had a couple of distractions in this story. I was a little bit distracted because I left my window open and you were able to hear, we call it taps. Taps is a song that plays when you're on an Air Force base late at night. It plays at 10 o'clock every night. And you got to hear that in the middle of the story. So that's just a fun little military tradition that you guys get introduced to tonight in the midst of the story. And then you also heard a lot of airplanes flying around because this is actually, we call it an expeditionary base. And so there's a lot of operational activity that goes on sometimes, and sometimes it's late at night. But it's amazing to hear the planes outside of your bedroom window because it's the sound of freedom. And it's just a reminder of all of the amazing things that the men and women of the United States Air Force and the United States Army that are here on this base are doing all day and all night to support our freedom and the freedom of people all around the world. So I know it's a little bit distracting, but sometimes that kind of distraction is okay because it's a reminder that there's a lot going on out there that's bigger than us. I love you guys. Good night.